All right, ready?
Okay, and we should stay on mute until we need to talk, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And Amy, there was an incident, I don't know if you saw, but there was someone Zoom bombed the PTA meeting. So we just have to be, I think all of our settings are like as strict as they can be, but we just have to be really careful. Like if you see someone that doesn't look legit in the waiting room, I would not let them in.
Okay. I mean, how does something like that happen? Do I have to be concerned about that?
I mean, I think what happened was screen sharing was enabled and someone shared their screen. So, but it's not enabled in ours, so we should be good.
Do we just want to go ahead and just let everyone in?
Hey, Miss Sloan.
Hello, thanks for coming.
I'm just checking in to see if everyone is good, ready to go. Awesome.
Good evening. Before we get started, we just wanted to say that we had an incident during the PTA meeting with somebody sharing the screen inappropriately. So we have the controls on tonight and we apologize for our PTA. However, that hack took place because those ladies worked so hard on putting together a fabulous PTA meeting. And I know how hard Mrs. Langston works and all the other staff. I see them around our school, volunteering in our school, actually working in our school. So we're kind of sad that she had to have that experience tonight. We just wanted to say that for those of you who were in the meeting, that it was something outside of her control. And we wanted to apologize for her having to go through that and anybody else who was in that meeting as well. We're excited to be here tonight, even though it's different. And I wanted to introduce our staff. So I'm just going to give a shout out, staff member to our team, just wave. Our teachers are happy to be here and so excited to see all of you and share the information that we have. So we have our first grade teacher team is Jennifer Walrath. We have Amy Arnold, Caroline Sloan. who actually goes by Michelle Sloan. We have myself, Melanie Moss, and our special ed support is Elizabeth Woodley, Linda Trosbach, and then Renee Centennial is supporting us in our ESAW services. And we have also Melissa Curry too. And of course, our fearless leaders are Alicia Drake and Keith Hirsch. And I love the fact that in the photos that we're showing, they have survivor t-shirts because they really are survivors and have made us all resilient at school and really lead with that raw. So we want to thank them for being here with us tonight.
All right, that leads us into some of our goals for tonight. We're so glad that all of you were able to take some time out of your evening and join us, and we want to stick to our agenda and adhere your time. We want to give you a chance to meet our team and the staff that we work with. We'll go over our daily schedule. We'll talk a little bit about curriculum that we'll be studying in first grade. We'll talk about our new platform, Schoology, that some of you are familiar with and some of you aren't so familiar with. So rest assured, we'll walk you through the steps and how we're going to be utilizing that this year. We'll go over a little bit of grading and assessment. We're going to talk about some of the best ways to communicate with each of us, and we'll have a chance to have some questions and answers session at the end. So in looking at this slide, you're going to see a little bit about attendance, and it's going to be really, really important that we get our students here on time and we get them prepared and ready to start school. Our doors are going to open at 8:55, and students will be marked tardy if they are after that 9:11 time. We are encouraging you to, if your child isn't feeling well, to please stay home with everything that's going on now. It's just really, really important that we take extra precautions that we might have once just said, oh, it's just a few sniffles, it's just a cold, but take some precautions that you wouldn't normally have. And the slide on the right-hand side is kind of a really great visual for us. I know myself as a parent takes a look at this and is like, oh goodness, wow. I really think that if you really think about every day counting and making the best out of each and every day, together we can work together to make the best for your children. So you're going to see a copy of our classroom schedule, and you will see that it's jam-packed. These first graders are working. We really, really get them right away and we get started working. We come in and have our breakfast. We go to something called Cardinal Time, and I'm going to be explaining the more nitty-gritties of Cardinal Time in just a few minutes. After Cardinal Time, we have a morning meeting where we get to know one another a little bit better and do a morning greeting. We share things with one another, and we get to do some fun activities that help us build a better community within our classrooms. We take a look at some phonological awareness, and our foundations time is where we are looking at letters and sounds and how they go together to make words and help us be better readers. We'll have reading workshop that will support that as well, and then go into writing workshop. We'll have a lunch break at 12 o'clock. And we are in the cafeteria, but also have the options to go outside as well. We will have recess immediately following, come back in and have a little read aloud time, let ourselves cool off and compress and get ready for the second half of our day. We'll go to math, have specials. So each day your child is assigned to specials class. And the only little plug I will say here is whenever your child is heading off to PE for the day, if you could please make sure they have some tennis shoes that are appropriate. And also, we just got an email from our librarian, Mrs. Ulrich, and the children are going to be taking their laptops plus headphones to library. So if you have not sent headphones in with your child, can you please make sure that some headphones come in, because we have several friends in each of the classes that don't have headphones. And when we're doing different programs that have the read stories aloud or whatever it is, it's difficult with several that don't have headphones. And unfortunately, we don't have lots of headphones to give everybody. So then we'll come back from specials and we will have our content areas, our social studies, our science, and our health. And we end the day with a closing circle and talk about, great things of the day and get ourselves ready for another great day.
Great. So I'm going to talk a little bit about math in first grade and what they'll be studying this year. So every day, as Ms. Walrath just said, they have math from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And during that time, it's a mix of practicing skills that they've already learned and becoming more fluent with those concepts, developing new skills. And so usually each day or every other day, we study something new, and then that will spiral throughout the year, and then them practicing that on their own. So sometimes we do that with worksheets or activities that will come home. Sometimes they'll do that with manipulatives, so you won't see anything come home. But all of the things on the right are the major categories of what we'll be studying this year. And the team was talking about just some things that we know could be helpful for your kids to do at home. We were thinking a lot about grocery shopping and about any time you're out and about and shopping, and just having those math conversations with your child is going to be so helpful to them in first grade. So having them count everything would be really helpful. By the end of the year, students should be proficient in counting and saying one number for each object that they touch. And so when they count things, you can ask them questions like, are we buying more bananas or apples, or how would you write that as a number? And is that more than 22 or is that less than 22? And just getting them to start thinking more about those numbers.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about our language arts block. So as Miss Walrath was saying, our schedule is jam-packed and language arts is pretty much the whole morning. Cardinal time will kind of go back and forth between math and language arts, but pretty much from 9:15 to 12, a lot of days will be full of language arts. So it's really important for your kiddo to be there in the morning, right on time, so we can get ready to go. So we have some components here of what we're working on here in first grade for language arts. We're going to be working on phonological awareness, and you saw that on our schedule, and that's really where we're working on focusing on isolating and manipulating sounds in words. And that's something that you can practice at home with rhyming practice or just playing with silly songs or words, asking your kiddo to tell you the first sound and the last sound in words. So that is something really fun to work on at home, and it's really vital and foundational to reading development. And then we're also going to be working on phonics, which is kind of that foundations block that you saw on our schedule. And that's really putting letters to those sounds and really starting to build words and sentences. And really during that time, we decode words. So your kiddo will read the word, and then also encoding. So when practice in developing writing, which is really important during that time. We're also working on fluency practice, so songs and poems, and really working on how students read and their voice and how they're reading and sounding. Does that sound like a reader? We talk about not sounding like a robot, so that's really important, reading with expression. And then also vocabulary. And as you can see on our schedule, like that morning meeting time is really when we're going to be really working on a lot of oral language, that development during that time too. So that's really important for vocabulary. And then our reading workshop will have a focus lesson where we're talking about some comprehension strategies, character setting, main idea, sequence of events, and then we'll have some small group time during that time. And then for writers workshop, we'll look similar. We'll have a focus lesson, and then they'll have some independent time where we also pull small groups during that time. Like I mentioned before, our Cardinal Time will also have some of that small group time, kind of going back and forth between math and language arts. So they'll be getting that small group practice at that time as well. And we're really working on sharing our ideas, writing about books. And so that whole morning time is just really language arts, just writing and reading. It's just completely jam-packed. Melanie, your mic is off.
Sorry. Our science time is part of our content at the end of the day. It's a time when our students are very tired. So they're adjusting to the long day and just being physically in the building and working really hard and socializing with a larger group. So science, we've tried to make very hands-on, and we're going to be using not only things in the classroom, but our green space outside so that they become active members and they really believe that they are scientists, and that's what we're doing. And they're observing, they're asking questions, we're even conducting experiments. We even introduced them to some databases this week that we're going to use for research throughout the year, and they're doing a lot of talking and collaborating. Some of the topics that we're going to be covering are the seasons, the sun and weather, animal and plant needs and characteristics, natural resources, air and water quality, how to conserve our resources as well. That's something we're actually talking about applying to our classroom and how we can not be wasteful. Force and motion and sound. But really it's a hands-on unit. And last year in first grade, even virtually, our kids really did a lot of fun things that we kind of created as we went, and their excitement. So we look forward to doing that again this year. Lastly, we rotate between the science and the social studies. Usually we do a couple weeks with one and then we switch to the other. Our social studies unit this year really starts with first quarter teaching students their rights and responsibility as being a student, as well as a member of the larger community, and what good citizens do to be contributors towards the community. They also learn about being a Virginian and living in the United States. And some of the economic topics that we cover are goods, services, producers, and consumers. And we really actually start applying that in our class. The kids are going to be doing services in our class to make sure things run smoothly. So we have goods that we use every day. So we really try to make sure that we're teaching the language and having them apply it and really live it. We do cover geography skills and map skills. And they learn about First Virginians and some influential people who have really contributed to the state that we live in.
Okay, I told you I would come back to Cardinal Time, and Cardinal Time is a time, it's the first thing in the morning after the students arrive and have had breakfast. So it's a time where the teachers can really provide some differentiated instruction to the students. We can break the students up into small groups and work with the students based upon their needs. And as Mrs. Arnold had said, sometimes we'll be focusing more language arts heavy, and sometimes we'll be focusing more math heavy. And we will also be supported by specialists throughout our building. So our ESOL teacher, Mrs. Corey and Mrs. Centennial, will be pulling students. Our counselors will be pulling students. We will have special education teachers that will be coming in and pulling students. And we will be taking small groups and shuffling things around within the classroom as well. There'll be enrichment activities provided through our specialists that students could go through, and that will rotate. So there will not be a time when within a quarter's time that like everybody will get a chance to go out to whatever special specialist is supporting our grade level at that quarter. So this quarter, it happens to be technology. So our children are getting an extra hand at practicing logging on to their computer and going to different platforms so they can get more familiar and comfortable and gain independence. So they're not constantly needing adults' help to do that. And it's been really, really helpful to have that this first quarter. But we're really, really excited about this time because we will have so much support and help to meet the needs of all the children where they need to be met, whether that's, extra support with this or some enrichment with this. We just have a lot of versatility within this time and are going to be able to service a lot of children at one time, and look forward to, just applying just everyone's needs. I like to think of it as a garden, and some flowers within the garden need extra special care, and other flowers really grow on their own and just need some enrichment. So it's a time where we can really, really tend to the garden and what the needs of all of our children are. So we're excited for this time. Miss Maz, you're on mute again.
Sorry, I just get excited when I talk. So Schoology replaced our Google and our Blackboard platforms that we used last year. So it's kind of it's a learning management system that incorporates everything. And we're still learning and teaching the kids as we go. And it is kind of, at first, I know everybody was like, something new. Well, Schoology is here to stay from what I understand, for a long time. So what we're teaching the students this year will continue to build on in the future. And it's kind of exciting because we do have a lot of things in there, and we're just going to be introducing elements. And we've done a lot in the last 2 weeks, and I'm really proud of our first graders because they can log on by themselves. They're going to the quick links. And this was not the same with our kids last year right away. So the kids are really building on what they learned last year, and really growing and adapting. And I think that's what technology does for us. So this Schoology, in order to access Schoology, we want all of our parents to have accounts so that you can see what we're doing. By setting up a parent account, it allows you to also go in and view what your kids are doing and what we're posting. So Ms. Sloan, do you want to turn the video on? Miss Meshover made a video for us, and we'd like to share it
Are
with
you
you.
ready to use Schoology? In order to use Schoology as a parent, you must have a parent view account. To access this page, to log in, go to sisparent.fcps.edu. If you are unsure about your account or you forgot your password, please use these icons on the bottom to help you. Once you have your account and you're ready to sign into Schoology, please use this website link, www.lms.fcps.edu. This is the Fairfax login for Schoology. You'll know that you're logging in correctly if you see the Fairfax icon. Then, when logging in, use your parent view login information so you can sign into your parent account. Once you are signed in, you will see that there is a course button. When you click on it, all parents are enrolled in our All Families course. Once you are inside of the course, you will see this menu of options. There are so many different resources, websites, videos, and more that you can use and explore. This is a one-stop shop for parents. Inside of the Back to School Night information button, you will see these options. This is definitely worth a look. Inside of FCPS Welcome are videos from our school board members and Dr. Brabrand. Inside of the CFES Welcome, there is a video from our administration as well as our PTA Executive Board. Grade level information will be updated after Back to School Night for recordings and slides. Specialists and support teachers have recorded Flipgrid videos for you to get to know them. Take a look. And inside of the FLE Parent Preview is information about family life education. Once you are ready to switch to a student account, you can drop down from your parent name and take a look at one of your students or your children. Click into theirs and you will be able to see their courses that they're enrolled in. A green check mark will be next to their name to make sure that you know which account you are viewing. If you have questions or need help, please contact your child's teacher, or you can reach out to me, Michelle Meshover, the School-Based Technology Specialist at Cardinal Forest. This is my email address and I'm happy to help you.
Ms. Moss, do you have anything to add about Schoology?
I was just gonna say, so in order to have your parent account, please log into the parent account, get an account, and that allows you to have access to Schoology, to receive everything from, Ms. Drake's emails. It just makes life, it's kind of a one-stop shop for you as a parent. And there really is a lot of things, there really are a lot of things that not only are the first grade teachers putting on there and our support, but Mrs. Meshover has done a ton of work to put things that will help you access things easily from home or services. So it really is a bevy of information. We really want all of our parents to be members and join.
If I could just say one thing to that, we will often send messages through Schoology, and if you have not signed up, you won't receive the message. So if we send something and you have not signed up, you won't receive, it will not go to your email unless you've signed up through this. So that's why it's really, really important, if we're communicating in that way, that you are signed up for it.
I know I personally have been using it a lot as quick reminders just about returning library books and about picture day tomorrow. So, and just about big events. So really, we want 100% parent accounts this year.
So I can speak a little to the home learning, and unlike last year when we had some students who were virtual and some students who were both in school, we as a county are not offering that option this year, but there are going to be times when the students have been paused from the building or out sick, and Schoology is going to let us access some of the things that we are doing within the classroom, so your child feels that they are still a part of our day and with us. So we will be putting extra assignments and homework types of things and assignments that we are doing in class on Schoology, so you'll be able to see that sort of thing. And one of the biggest things that I would say, especially if your child isn't feeling well, would just be to read. At this point in time in the year, especially, there's nothing better that you can do with your child or have your child do with you than read with them. And the visual on the right-hand side gives you a little glimpse into some data that was taken. If you're a numbers person, this is going to really mean a whole lot to you. And just taking a look at the children who are completely immersed within literacy. And you can see the benefits once they reach 6th grade of how much that truly makes a difference within their lives. So I think that when we are in these situations, there's nothing better to do than to read or have your child read to you, and the benefits will pay off.
I'm just going to talk quickly about responsive classroom. This responsive classroom is my favorite part of our day, really. It's our morning meeting. And our morning meeting includes grading, sharing, morning message, and oftentimes a game or an activity. And this time really helps to support a classroom or a positive classroom community, encourages students to be self-aware and to set goals and to have responsibility. We also really work on oral language during this time and really how to greet someone, how to talk to each other, how you can ask questions of each other, and just really going through those aspects of being in a classroom and being with other people in a really positive, wonderful, fun way. And this is also included in our language arts time. So we will be doing a lot of just language arts, oral language practice, word games and stuff like that.
I just want to give a quick plug for our counselors. This has been a hard year for everyone, but perhaps especially our kids. And so if you notice that your child is having an extra hard time transitioning back to school, we are looking out for that as well, but we just ask that you'd reach out to us, reach out to their teacher, and we can connect them with one of our wonderful counselors. And these counselors will also be doing whole group lessons for our class to check in with the class. This is from Fairfax County Public Schools. These 5 categories are things that Fairfax has set as goals for all of the kids to grow in every year that they're in Fairfax County Public Schools. So these 5: collaborator, communicator, creative and critical thinker, ethical and global citizen, and goal-directed and resilient individual. Those 5 are built into our lesson plans. So it is always something that we're working towards with the kids.
So your child, we will be grading this quarter, or all of the quarters this year. And FCPS's grading scale is on a 1 to 4 grading scale. And you can see some of these highlighted words that really give you an idea of the bulk of that grade and where that comes from when looking at each of the subject areas that we will be looking at. And when we are taking grades into consideration in first grade, we're not looking at just one particular thing in these subject areas. We're looking at many things that we have done throughout the quarter to come to this, this number that we are assigning your child. And they're just a reflection of the standards that we're held to in which we teach. And we'll be going over more of the actual grades that your child is assigned to when we have those first quarter conferences with you. And but this will just give you an idea of what is coming and what to look for.
Just quickly about communication, just please allow 24 to 48 hours for email response. We are trying to send home a weekly little short newsletter in our Tuesday folders, and those will go home every Tuesday or most Tuesdays. So we'll be continuing to do that. Email is the best way to communicate for all of us, and later on in this presentation, we'll have our email addresses again, along with other important people. And then for conferences, we are going to be working on Zoom conferences for first quarter conferences. Every family will have a Zoom conference before November 2nd to discuss your child's progress. So that will be coming. And again, all conferences will be via Zoom.
All right. If you have any questions, this is a great time to ask them. We are going to do it whole group So if there is something that's specific to your child or class, our emails are listed there. And then as well as if you have a technology specific question, an ESOL question, or a special education question, those are the people to contact about those. If you have a question about first grade in general, I think because of the Zoom incident earlier, the unmuting feature is turned off, but if you put it in the chat, we will be able to answer.
Ms. Sloan, can you check the securities? Are they able to chat?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So Miss Sloan, I'm getting information to say that. Oh, there we go. We have it open. Never mind. Sorry, Miss Sloan.
I can take the questions about field trips. So in taking a look at field trips, we will need to discuss that as a team and see what we feel might be the best fit. As of this point, we have not been told that we are not allowed to take field trips. And I just attended the PTA and there is a line item allocated for field trips. So we'll be looking into what are our possibilities and what are some things that we could do as a team. And we'll definitely get that information out to you as soon as we come up with a really great plan. So good.
Ms. Satterley, about the Schoology question. So other teachers, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe if you in your settings on Schoology have notifications turned on, which is the automatic setting, as long as your email address is registered with your Schoology account, you should receive all communication like to your email that we send through Schoology. Good question.
Ms. Centennial, are you still there?
I am. Can you hear me?
There she is.
Okay, I couldn't
Yay.
unmute myself and then I could. Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick shout out, say hello to all the families. So after 8 years of teaching kindergarten at Cardinal Forest, I moved over to ESOL. I'm guessing they mentioned that earlier. So I'm working with first grade as well as kindergarten, fourth and fifth. So I'm working with all the classrooms. So I see all of your students each day. To the ESOL families, my email was on the last slide in the presentation. If you have any questions specific to ESOL, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to working with all of you.
Mr. Bennett, are you talking about enrichment activities? Not sure how to answer the question. If you have any more information you can put on.
Miss Woodley, are you still with us? Do you want to say hello to everybody? Oh,
There we go. I just got
Okay.
unmuted.
sorry.
Thank you. No, that's all right. I just wanted to say welcome to all the first grade parents. My name is Beth Woodley. I am a special education resource teacher, and I'm assigned to work with first and second grade classrooms this year. We are off to a great start.
So Mr. Bennett, I can try. Go ahead, Ms. Moss, go ahead. Are you going to try and answer Mr. Bennett's
Yes,
question?
I was.
Okay, go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, we are very in tune with our students. I know all of us are reflecting daily, actually by the minute, as we work with our students. We're constantly, if we see a child needs or there's a small group, we work with those children as needed in small groups, as well as at established times once we get rolling in our small group times with reading and writing and math as well. So it's right now, it's based on what we see students need and the support they need, or it could be an extension that the student needs. Maybe they already know what we're teaching, and so we're trying to extend the learning for them. So it's really as we see it on a daily basis with our students. Do you want to add anything to that, Ms. Walrath?
So I guess as a parent to think about, I think that when we were in school, we were very locked into a certain group and we met every day as a group and the group didn't change. And I think that that's some of the things that we have learned through education as we've gone forward, is that when we pigeon kids into one certain group, it kind of stifles them. And we have been able, and we will be able with this time, to accelerate them in places that they need accelerating and give them more help in other areas that they need more help in. So there's no set time or group that we're going to meet with every single day. It will be very fluid. And as the year goes on, it may be even that we can switch amongst the teachers within the grade level and the special ed teachers and other resources that are working with us. So I think the question is a little bit tricky. I think that if there's an area in math or language arts that your child is needing extra support with, that is where we will see that and be able to help them with that. And if you as parents are feeling like something came home and your child didn't really understand this, or wow, my child got this so well, I think we could use an enrichment, you can send us a note and help us with that as well.
I'm looking at the question related to screen time. We've really struck a healthy balance with that this year. Our kids have come in with a whole new set of skills that they're going to be using for the rest of their lives. They are very computer savvy, and I'm excited about it because I think when I teach them something, it's going to take so much longer than it actually does. And they're very good at helping each other. So we have a very healthy balance of the amount of time that they're spending on a screen as well as doing other things, whether that be collaborating or, sharing writing or sharing reading or reading independently or working on a project independently. We also have them using technology at different parts of the day, and we have parts where the computer's not even out. So, and then when the computer is out in first grade, we are only sending them to places that are safe, that are approved by the county. We're not allowed as Fairfax County employees to send them anywhere. So we are supervising their screen time. We walk around the room. And like I said, we are only linking them to things that have been approved by the county as well.
So homework seems to be a hot topic, and we can address a little bit of that. I think I spoke to this a little bit with that at-home learning. I think some of the most important homework you can do is definitely make time for reading. Make sure there is a set aside time within your evening. Think of it as a worksheet if you wish, but that's your child's homework. Your child needs to be reading to you and you reading to your child. That's truly, truly some of the best homework that you can be doing. I think there was a second part to that question.
And
Was that
just Miss
communication?
Walrath, to
Sorry.
piggyback on that, I
Sure.
also think giving equal time to writing I think writing lists or writing something that they going on a scavenger hunt, or just those little things that you can do at home that help encode and start writing, because I think that we're focusing a lot on reading, and I do think that they need that writing practice at home. And it can be very simple to go find all the words that have a P in the house, or look in this book and find this sight word, or just help write a list to go grocery shopping. We talk about grocery shopping a lot, but there's so much you can do during that time. So I would just add on that organic writing stuff that you can add in.
I can say to that as well. I oftentimes within the classroom but I don't know how to spell it. I don't know how to spell it. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here in first grade, is we're trying to get them comfortable enough with the sounds they hear when they pronounce that word, that they're able to write some letters down that they know they hear within that word. So even though a grocery list, the word tomato might not be spelled correctly, are they starting with that beginning T sound? Do they hear that? And those are some of the things that you can continue to work on at home that would be very, very helpful. There was another comment within the chat about direct communication regarding how your child is doing. So that's exactly what our first quarter conferences are going to be all about. This conference will be nothing more than grows and glows, all the awesome things that your child is doing and things that we have found within our curriculum that we're going to work on with your child and continue to make goals for your child. So that will really, really be something that you want to make sure is definitely scheduled with your child's teacher, and a time where you come with specific questions that you may have, and are able to address specific things regarding your child's learning.
The only thing I would add to that is, if you have specific questions at times when conferences aren't scheduled, never hesitate to reach out to us, because we would love to update you.
Thank you for coming tonight too. It's so nice to have that representation from first grade parents. It's another important year of being flexible and adapting, and our students have done a great job of that. And I think as parents, you're behind that. So we want to thank you for that. And as things change and we are able to schedule field trips and things, we will be sending out emails. And I know I make calls too to parents related to things, progress occasionally here and there, and do a lot via email. So we're available to talk to you if you feel that you need to know more information.
Yeah, I would just say on behalf of the whole team, we feel very, very supported by the parents, and we really, really look forward to this year and are happy to work together as partners to make your child's education one of the best that it can be. And we will let you guys leave. Some of you have other children and you're going to other back to school nights. So we'll kind of let this be the transition period so we can start our second session. But thank you again so much for coming and being such a part of school here with us. Thank you.